Welcome to the IELTS reading explanation. Today we are going to study IELTS 20 Test 2 Passage 1, Manatees. There are 13 questions in this passage. The first 6 are note completion questions, and the last 7 are true or false questions. We can divide the questions into 3 types. Questions 7, 11, and 13 are about synonym replacement. Questions 8, 9, 10, and 12 are about logic comparison. Questions 1 to 6 are about keyword location. Knowing these types helps us find answers faster. For example, note completion questions rely on keywords, while true or false questions need careful comparison with the text. This article has 10 paragraphs. It is an expository text that introduces the animal manatees. From passage 1 to 3, it introduces the appearance, bones, and diet of manatees. From passage 4 to 5, it introduces the teeth and breathing method of manatees. From passage 6 to 9, it introduces the specific information and current status of the 3 manatee species. Let's look at the question distribution. Note completion questions 1 to 6 are mainly in passage 1 to 5. True or false questions 7 to 13 are mainly in passage 6 to 10. Next is the note completion for Q1-6. One-word limit, mostly extracted directly from the text. Let's look at question 1. It compares the tail shapes of manatees and dugongs. Please pause the video and find the answer in the text. The clue words are broad, rounded and fluked. The blank comes after has a, so the answer should be a singular noun. Go to paragraph 1 and scan the comparison sentence after however. The original text says manatee has a broad, rounded tail. The answer tail appears directly, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 1 is tail. Let's look at question 2. The note says manatees use a body part to steer. The blank is after steering with its, so we need a body part. The clue words are steering and its. The blank should be a singular noun for a body part. Let's go to paragraph 2. The text says a manatee must turn its whole body and steer with something. The original text says steering with its flippers. Flippers is the answer. This word is directly given in the text, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 2 is flippers. Let's look at question 3. The statement says hairs help manatees feel vibrations. We need to find a noun for the blank. Clue words are vibrations and sense. Before the blank is some, so the answer must be a plural noun. Go to the end of paragraph 2. Scan for keywords like vibrations and hair. The text says they also have some hair covering their bodies. The word hair is directly given, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 3 is hair. Let's look at question 4. Seagrasses and other marine plants make up most of a manatee's diet. Please pause and test yourself first. The clue words are seagrasses and other marine plants, which are the subject. Locate paragraph 3 and scan for the keyword seagrasses. The first sentence of the original text directly gives seagrasses. This word is directly given in the original text, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 4 is seagrasses. Let's look at question 5. The note says manatees use their lips to grasp and pull up plants. Before the blank is used there, so we need a noun. Go to paragraph 4 and find the part about grasping food. The text says manatees have lips to grasp food. This word is directly given in the original text, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 5 is lips. Let's look at question 6. The note needs a noun for what manatees adjust using their diaphragm. The blank is after adjust their bodies, so we need a noun. Let's go to paragraph 5 and look for words related to adjust buoyancy. The text says use their muscular diaphragm and breathing to adjust their buoyancy. Buoyancy is the answer. This word is directly given in the original text, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 6 is buoyancy. Let's look at question 7. West Indian manatees can be found in a variety of different aquatic habitats. Please pause the video and try this question yourself first. The key clue in the question is a variety of different aquatic habitats. Locate paragraph 6. The scanning landmark words in the text are freshwater and saltwater and specific habitats like coastal mangroves. The original text says, it moves between freshwater and saltwater, taking advantage of coastal mangroves and coral reefs, rivers, lakes and inland lagoons. The phrase "a variety of different aquatic habitats" in the question perfectly summarizes the specific list of aquatic environments in the text. This is a clear example of synonym replacement. So the answer to question 7 is true. Let's look at question 8. The statement says the Florida manatee lives in warmer waters than the Antillean manatee. The key clue words are warmer waters and the two subspecies names. We locate paragraph 6. The text mentions the geographic ranges of the two subspecies. The original text uses found in waters from the Bahamas to Brazil and found in U.S. waters. It only gives locations, no temperature comparison. The statement says warmer waters, but the text only gives locations. There is no temperature data to support or contradict this comparison. This is making something out of nothing, a missing concept. So the answer to question 8 is not given. Let's look at question 9. The statement says the African manatee's range is limited to coastal waters between Mauritania and Angola. The key clue word is limited to coastal waters. Locate paragraph 7. The scanning landmark word is also makes use of rivers. The original text says also makes use of rivers, with the mammals seen in landlocked countries. The statement says limited to coastal waters, but the text says also makes use of rivers, seen in landlocked countries. These directly contradict each other. This is an antonym replacement. So the answer to question 9 is false. Let's look at question 10. The extent of the loss of Amazonian manatees in the mid-20th century was only revealed many years later. The key clue words in the statement are extent of the loss and only revealed many years later. Let's locate paragraph 9 and look for information about the extent of the loss of Amazonian manatees. The text says it is estimated that 140,000 Amazonian manatees were killed between 1935 and 1954. The original phrase is it is estimated that 140,000 were killed. The statement says the loss was only revealed many years later, but the passage only gives an estimate number. It never mentions when or how this information was revealed. This is making up information, not wrong, because the passage doesn't give opposite information. So the answer to question 10 is not given. Let's look at question 11. It is predicted that West Indian manatee populations will fall in the coming decades. Key clue words: populations will fall and coming decades. Locate paragraph 10. Scanning landmark, expected to undergo a decline. The original text says, both are also expected to undergo a decline of 20% over the next 40 years. The statement says populations will fall, the text says undergo a decline of 20%, this is a synonym replacement. Coming decades matches over the next 40 years. So the statement matches the text. So the answer to question 11 is true. Let's look at question 12. The statement says, the risk to manatees from entanglement and plastic consumption increased significantly in the period 2009 to 2020. The key clue words are risk increased significantly and 2009 to 2020. We locate paragraph 10. The text mentions a review of cases from 2009 to 2020, finding at least 700 cases involved manatees. The original text says, a review of almost 1,800 cases from 2009 to 2020 found that at least 700 cases involved manatees. The statement says the risk increased significantly, but the text only gives the number of cases. There is no comparison with an earlier period to show an increase. This is a typical invented information case, the concept is missing, not contradictory, so it is not false. So the answer to question 12 is not given. Let's look at question 13. There is some legislation in place which aims to reduce the likelihood of boat strikes on manatees in Florida. Key clue words in the statement: legislation and reduce boat strikes. Locate paragraph 10. The scanning landmark words are laws and limit boat speeds. The original text says, laws in certain parts of Florida now limit boat speeds during winter, allowing slow-moving manatees more time to respond. Legislation in the statement is a synonym for laws in the text. Reduce the likelihood of boat strikes matches the purpose of giving manatees more time to respond. This is a clear synonym replacement. So the answer to question 13 is true. Now we move to the summary of tricks. Let's review 3 common traps. Trick 1, opposite meaning. The text says the opposite of the question. For example, question 9. The question says, no laws protect them. But the text says laws limit boat speeds. Trick 2, wrong subject. The question talks about A, but the text talks about B. For example, question 9. The question says all manatees. But the text only talks about West Indian manatees. Trick 3, no information. The idea in the question is completely missing from the text. For example, questions 8, 10, and 12. The ideas in these questions are completely missing from the text. Summary: be careful with absolute words like all, only, first. Also check if the question and text talk about the same subject. Now we move to vocabulary summary. Let's review important paraphrases and key terms from this passage. Question 7. A variety of different aquatic habitats left right arrow, fresh water and salt water, mangroves, coral reefs, rivers, lakes and lagoons. Question 11. Populations will fall left right arrow undergo a decline of 20% over the next 40 years. Question 13. Legislation aims to reduce the likelihood of boat strikes left right arrow, laws limit boat speeds during winter. Completion key terms, tail, flippers, hair, seagrasses, lips, buoyancy. That's all for the intensive reading of Test 2 Passage 1. Hope it helps you.